Hello and welcome to tea readings. My name is Lunar, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, you guys, hello. It's been a minute. It's been, I've just been busy and I have also not been feeling the best. I'm not going to throw hex into this reading and talk about my ailments. It was the stomach flu. It just went on and on and on. I can't hold it. I can't. I'm going to tell you. I'm at that age where it's like, man, I can talk to you about the weather, my garden, and ailments all day long, babe. Anyways, wash your hands. Get out in the sun. Get some fresh air. Drink lots of water. Do all the things. You'll probably still get it. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing that really sticks out is, just knocking stuff over. We have, it looks like, I'm looking at it as Luna. It's Lanu. So we have the L, the A, the N, and the U. And to me, 100%, we're looking at the moon, right? There's this energy of that maiden hunter, um, Diana, Artemis, right? This kind of um, athletic and just traversing the underbrush quickly beneath the moon late at night, implement in hand, and just sailing through with no cause for concern because there's just precision. It's just effortless grace and beauty and a brutality, right? There's a brutality to it. It is a hunt after all, right? And there's no qualms about what is necessary. And so is the moon, right? And so is the moon. The moon gives and takes. It pulls and it pushes, and the ebb and the flow, it doesn't care what timeline you're on. It doesn't care what you're expecting or what you thought was going to happen. Babe, we're on her time. We're on her time. So I look at this and I feel like there is an energy of maybe being pulled into work that you had not intended. And that's what stands out to me. Now, here's the deal. It might not feel like work to you. I'm not talking necessarily about a job or a career or, even like household tasks or anything like that. But what I am talking about is the work of life, right? The refinement of self. The things that come up for us when, let's just face it, sometimes we're just avoiding. We're avoiding. I'm going to think about that later. I'm too busy. I've been working a lot. The kids have been sick and they have a million things here, there, I have a household, a marriage, a business, a career, all the stuff. This is me, right? I'll talk to myself about this later. I'll get with the elders later. I will I'll wait till all of the celestial bodies align in such a way that then I'll do it. Right? And then I'll do it. But life says nah, babe. You know what we're gonna do? We'll just throw you a little ordeal. How about that? you know, let's let's just put you through something. You don't want to go after it yourself, which look, face it, let's face it, who does, right? Um, you know, it's just gonna appear, it's gonna manifest. And when we have the lunar energy wrapped into that ordeal, right, that's when things can kind of get kind of bizarre. I mean, really. To be beneath the moon is a beautiful place to live out certain ordeals, certain allegories of life. Um, and I believe this to be true because it makes it all hidden. It is something kind of akin to, like, you dance however you want to when nobody's looking, right? You're home alone, you're doing the dishes, you got the radio going in the living room, and you're just dancing, you're vibing, you're doing your thing. Now, some of us are pretty uninhibited and will dance forever. You're like, well, babe, I'll dance forever. Well, yeah, me too. But it has taken a lot of moons, a lot of moon energy, right? To get me there. Um, so I feel like all of this is to say, I feel like there is a sense of being maybe maybe like a maybe there's like a friendship or a romantic entanglement. Maybe it is your primary relationship, maybe it's not. um I almost wonder if it's not. uh or if you're single, right? Maybe this is like kind of more of a casual thing, or like it's a real strong friendship and there are aspects of romanticism, or coupling, or sensual, all the things. And I just don't feel the flavor of it being like feeling old, which that's what you feel with most people's relationships, not because it's like a bad relationship, but because, dude, you've been around together for a long time. You've been through some things. There's a feeling of like, okay, these two people, like, they're they've worn the same ridges within self together, right? They're very similar in this kind of worn state because they've been together. They've been by each other's side for so long. And you can't help but forge that if you are close with somebody, if you're in an involved relationship or marriage, right? Um, this does not have a weatheredness to it. And now, when I say that, again, let me emphasize, it's not that it's a bad relation. That's not, it just, so this one feels new, newer, at least, exciting. I mean, it does, it feels exciting. And this could definitely be like the spouse, or, somebody you've been with for years or whatever. It could be that you're growing towards each other, okay? The point of all of this is to say that there seems to be some kind of relationship or connection that you have that is almost like a little cocoon that you can crawl into, or like a shell, like a dope, like a Polly Pocket snail shell kind of, you know what I'm saying, like something that a functional little hideout or whatever. But it has been built with the strength and the understanding you have with this person, to be seen, to be witnessed, to be um, experienced by somebody who you love and you are close to. I feel like it's almost created this safe environment or space that you have with them. And I'm not saying it's just them. It's the fact that you are being heard. You know what I mean? That there is a observer observing you, and it is a friendly observer, right? It is one that you trust. And so this has developed the space for you to go into that lunar energy, to be the, eccentric at night, doing the weird things, doing the rituals and studying all the stuff, and, trying all the things that you thought was like woo woo, the breath work and the postures and the cleanses, or the, whatever it is. And I'm not promoting cleanses, by the way. If you do them, that's fine. I'm not judging or saying that I don't, but I also don't promote them. So, I don't know. I don't know that much about it for other people, only for myself. And, we just all have to be careful in our practices. Mindful, I should say. And so anyhow, I feel like this is it. This is like, there's this wonderful kindredness you have with this person. It is creating the space for you to do this work. Okay, and so we have Luna. And now I have to say, it does feel to me that you're having an issue with your leg. That's one of them. Also, the number 11 seems to be important. We have a sense of kind of getting to the top. If you could see this person here, and their arm is kind of lifted up and kind of standing on top of this hill, or okay, there's two wasps, right? I don't know if they're fighting or what they're doing. I'm just gonna sit still here. They're just kind of checking me out, I think. I'm cool, guys. I'm cool. I'm just doing my thing. I know we were just discussing. All right. um, so anyways, we have the kind of this feeling of like trying to reach the top, trying to reach the top. And I feel it seems like it is like you're getting on top of an old situation that has felt like I've been neglecting this. It's gone kind of chaotic. It's like, I don't know, the end of a season, right? When you're coming out of like winter and the yard just looks like, ugh, that kind of feeling, or like, the house has gotten a little bit overrun by things, or not putting away, or whatever. And it feels like I could never um, do enough to get this done, right? And that's how you feel before you get started, anyways. And I feel like there's been this switch in you where you've decided, like, I'm not even going to, like, fully indulge the depth of thinking about how much I need to do or how I'm going to do it or what. I'm just going to go and start. I'm just going to put the gloves on and I'm going to start bagging stuff up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking of, you're cleaning out a messy room. You're decluttering. Just ruthlessly getting rid of what does not belong anymore. And I think that really it's the season of getting as lean as we possibly can. And I don't mean in our physicality, right? I mean in how we're living, and I don't just mean streamlining either. You could be somebody who is like a maximalist, somebody who is, lives a very big and ostentatious life. But what I am talking about is getting to the real matter at hand. Are you living in a way that honors the way that you want to be living? Are you doing too much? Are you doing too little? Are you doing just the right amount, but maybe some of the things don't really necessarily deserve priority, right? So I feel like you have this kind of vision, clarity, and ambition to get things where you want them to be. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn this thing one more time here. Hopefully that's not too loud. I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day. I really did have a beautiful one. And thank everybody who gave the really sweet comments on any of the platforms where my husband, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, my husband over there, Paul, made a nice post. And I know a lot of people said really nice things. And I absolutely thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. And I adore you. I feel very lucky to be a mama. I don't know. I know it's different for everybody. I never planned on having a child, as um, I had two stillbirths technically. I always say miscarriages, but in my mid-20s, and just really did not think that my life would ever be in the right place, or that I don't know, I just didn't think I deserved to be a parent, just because the way I grew up, I didn't think I was given the tools or the understanding, because I came from such a traumatizing upbringing, from an environment that was just very stressful, and just whatever. I've had to raise myself a lot of the way, and didn't do the greatest job, by the way. I have had to make up for a lot of it in adulthood, and so then having later, technically would be later. I was 35 when I got pregnant, or no, when I had her. I don't know, somewhere in there. My goodness, every day I have to say, and again, different for everybody, and there's no judgment how you experience motherhood, or if you don't, or you don't want to, or you wanted to but you couldn't, or whatever it was, right? um for me anyhow, it changed something in me that uh made made me have to raise myself to look at things that I thought didn't matter, became big things in my life, issues that I had to really look at brutally, honestly, with the greatest, amount of humbling I've ever been served, you know what I mean? And man, I don't know. Being a mom is the hardest job I've ever done, or thing I will ever do. Um, but it's the only thing that matters to me, you know. And that's just real for me. It's the only thing that will ever matter. I'm just keeping it real. It's the true magic of my life. But so, anyways, I don't know. One day, hopefully, my daughter will hear this and know that even though mommy is a bit of a wackadoo sometimes, um, she is my everything. God, she's so beautiful and so smart too. And just, dude, I can't wait to see what she does. I mean, she's just, we all feel like this about our kids, of course, but I could go on and on forever about her. Okay, so we have repeating G's. G, G, G. Something about somebody with a G name. And I'm going to see. So we have the Five of Wands. Where are we going with this person? You're taking it straight to HE double hockey sticks, right? you just do not like each other. There's passion. There's passion. There's passion. You're stuck in each other's lives for some reason. Family, I imagine. Um, there's just this like mental warfare going on, and it feels like it's been going on. Yeah. And I think it's like you vacillate between wanting to just yeah, this person, and being like, no, we could do this. We could do this. We could do it. We're like, it's all good. It'll be good. It will be good. We'll be good. We're good. We're good. We love each other. We're straight. And sometimes I think, well, often what realigns us, right, as family, as good friends, as partners, as warriors alongside one another, is some kind of outside whatever, a common enemy, right? There's a common enemy, I think, that binds you. We have the Hermit. My goodness, yeah. Okay, so I think that you are. Yeah, this is like growth right here. This is growth. Uh, there's a family member. You're in the cycle of like things get weird between you two, or you try whatever. You hang out, you see each other, you get on each other's nerves. It starts to ramp up. By the middle of the season, you're about to get it on. Like let's take this out to the streets, my friend. Let's go. Let's go for that little walk. You know what I mean? And you get to this boiling point, and it just absolutely gets turned when something happens. Somebody said something, some other drama pops off in the family, which not for nothing, and no offense, but I have a feeling that this is you have a family dynamic where things are often going on, occurring. You're not like a real quiet, subdued, stoic family, not by any means. Okay, here's the deal though. You see yourself shifting, forming back alliance with this person, and to you it really is starting to bring up, it's symbolically like this saying now, an anchor point, where it's like, okay, here I am slipping back in to these old tried and true habits that lead you to nowhere, usually, right? Just back into the cycle. So I see you choosing not to engage. You're going hermit mode this season. You're going to be on your own, on your dolo, as they say. I feel like this is something that fills your emotional, your creative, your inspired reserves. Okay, you got that power growing. You're not just wasting yourself here and there. Your energies talking and scheming and gossiping and spending too much time like investigating somebody's like ex-girlfriend, stepmom's, whatever, grandmother, and why she got arrested, or whatever. We've all been down those rabbit holes, right? uh and you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. You're not getting involved. You're not even looking. Who cares? Whatever. That sucks. I'm not. So where do we end up? Peace of mind, right? We're getting to that place where I can see clearly. I am making decisions out of clarity, not because there's desperation, there's scarcity, there's a need to like just kind of help regulate the family unit, the circuit of the family, the system of the family. And a lot of times we do be like that, right? Especially if you're one of the I can't speak for the masculine, but for the feminine um uh family members that are in leadership places within the family units, there's so many times that, you're just kind of acquiescing to like the, whatever's going to be for the greater good. And I think at this point for you, it's the greater good is going to come from you not getting involved. You just are not, you're not doing this. You're not putting your energies into other people's whatever, their entertainment with it. That's what it comes down to. Or their belovedness of their own pain, right? So many of us are addicted to our own pain. I myself, definitely, absolutely. I think that's, part of why I have been in therapy on and off for 13, or not 13 years, more than 13, since I was 13. Obviously I do need at times and there's nothing wrong with therapy, but I think that there are places in my life where I definitely be swimming in those old hurts, and they need to be processed, they need to be integrated, absolutely. But sometimes you hit that place where it's like, all right, now it's time to really maybe, you know take a lap, rest it out a bit, just kind of get back into the equilibrium. But you keep pushing, you keep going deep, and then it's like, man, the wheels be shaking a little bit, um and I know that about myself, right? And so I see that in a lot of other people as well. We like to dwell in our pain, and we just do. I don't know. You know, social conditioning is a big part of that. Absolutely. Conditioning, how we're raised, that's a big part of it. And also just not being paid attention to, I think, is a huge part of it as well, um, for everybody. Uh, but at some point we have to, when we gain, when you recognize the faultiness in some of your um, methods of living, right? Then it's like, what are you going to do? You've done the science, you see the math, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You're going to keep trying to force the wrong answer within this equation because you know what's going wrong. And so I feel like for you, you're at a point where it's like, dude, and I'm looking at the A minus. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's gonna be close. You know what I mean? It's gonna be close. You aren't gonna maybe be the A plus 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 valedictorian of your life, although you are really by default. I mean, kind of, right? But you're still up there, baby. You're still doing it. So I just, I think it is. It's this sense of finding control within our life by relinquishing um, the the whole, holding on with I'm getting in on this thing. I'm not letting go, babe. And it's just, I always think of that of Mice and Men or whatever, the dude that like holds the little baby rabbit. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna go into exactly what happens there, but what happens. And my name's Lenore, so that's probably why I think about that dude a lot. Lenny, his name was Lenny. Lenny, chill out, babe. Stop holding on to it, because it's not gonna make it. um So anyways, I love you guys. My goodness, it feels like it's like so many days go by. Oh, my tummy was not well, and I'm sorry to like tell you all about that right off the jump there, but you know what you're getting. If you're here, you've been to probably watch my other readings. You know how I am. You know what kind of lady I am. I can't tell you about it all. But I love you. I love you. I love you. Your lucky numbers today are 7, 11, and I don't know. Let's go with, I think 29. 29 feels so good. So anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon, and goodbye. Farewell.